Hi there, Internet. It's Mike from Quicknode, and today we're going to be learning Solana from scratch, which means you need no prior knowledge of blockchain or cryptography or anything else. All you need is TypeScript skills, a current version of Node.js, and an X account. Why an X account? Well, during this video, you're going to be transacting live on Solana DevNet with everyone else who's also watching the video. It might be chaotic. Let's get started. Now, you can't really talk about crypto without talking about cryptography. So let's talk about digital signatures. In other words, the key pairs that you see throughout crypto. A key pair consists of a private key, which must be kept secret. There are private keys stored securely on your phone or on your desktop, for example, and a public key, which can be shared with everybody else. The private key is used to sign messages, and the public key is used to prove that those messages are signed by whoever has the private key. We actually use digital signatures and key pairs daily. Your bank card has a private key on its chip. Every time you tap or insert your card, the private key is used to create a fresh digital signature so the terminal can prove that your card is genuine and actually issued by your bank. So this is Alice, and she has a key pair on Solana. The private key is stored securely on her device, and the public key can be used as an address that people can use if they want to transact with her. This is Bob. He has his own key pair, and if Bob wants to send 10 SOL to Alice, he can send it to Alice's public key. In other words, public keys are used as addresses that people can use to talk to accounts on Solana. Now, when I say Solana, what do I mean? There's actually multiple different instances of Solana, but each is a giant computer that spans the world. There's mainnet, which you may have heard of before. That's where everything actually has real value. But we'll be doing most of our work in DevNet, where we can get free tokens to fund our accounts because nothing in DevNet has real value. There's also LocalNet, which we'll occasionally use, which runs on your own computer. So let's make a Solana wallet. This will work with any current version of Node.js. Just make a directory called Quicknode Learn Solana, cd into that directory, set up an empty Git project, set up an empty npm project, and install a few things. We'll install Solana Kit, which is how you do Solana in TypeScript. We'll install Solana Kite, which are high-level helpers for Solana Kit, the types for Node.js, and TSX, which just allows us to run TypeScript from the command line. Finally, we'll set the type in package.json to be module. That just lets us use current generation JavaScript packages. Make a new file called createwallet.ts, import the connect function from Solana Kite, connect to DevNet. Now, this just uses the free infrastructure provided by Solana Foundation. It is rate limited. If you want infrastructure that doesn't have rate limits, sign up for Quicknode and connect to Quicknode DevNet. Set up the file name where we're going to save the private key for our new wallet, and we're going to run create wallet. We're going to specify our file name, which is the same as before, and a prefix. The prefix should be your own initials. So it just helps us remember things a little bit easier. After that, we'll note that we have created a wallet, the address, and where we've saved it. Run npx tsx createwallet.ts, and you will see that a wallet has been created and saved to that file. Open the file and have a look inside. You'll see it's just a big array of 64 numbers. That's what a saved key pair looks like on Solana. So now that we actually have that key pair file, we can load up that wallet and start using it. Make a new file called load_wallet.ts, connect to DevNet again, then run load wallet from file. After loading the wallet, we can print out the public key, in other words, the address of our wallet. We'll also get an Explorer link where we can look at our new wallet with a beautiful web interface. So if you run npx tsx load_wallet.ts and open that link, you'll see Solana Explorer opens. It's connected to DevNet. You'll see the public key of the wallet. It has your initials in it. You'll see your balance and a few other bits and pieces. Congratulations, you've now made a Solana wallet on DevNet. Open X and post this, #QuicknodeLearnSolana, your name, something interesting about yourself, and your DevNet wallet address. In the next lesson, we'll be connecting to other people and looking at their wallets, and after that, we'll be transacting with. So let's talk about Lamports and SOL, and I want to talk about something that's not even specific to blockchain. If you're handling money online, whether it's blockchain, whether it's just making a payment using Stripe on a credit card in US dollars, you generally want to do things in what's called minor units. Minor units are the small money that goes alongside the big money, like cents compared to US dollars, or pence compared to pounds. In Solana, we have Lamports, which turn into SOL. 1 billion Lamports becomes 1 SOL. It's a nice granular number which allows us to transfer very small amounts of value. So let's update your load wallet script to check the balance of your wallet. So just after we load the wallet, run get Lamport balance to get the balance from your wallet. And afterwards, we'll log the balance with balance to locale string. That will just add the commas for us. When you run this, you'll now see your balance in Lamports, and you'll see that indeed the 1 SOL that you saw earlier in Solana Explorer becomes 1 billion Lamports. That's great, but maybe you want more free SOL. It does, after all, have no value. If you visit faucet.solana.com and paste in your wallet address, you can get more free SOL to use for your development. And if you run load wallet again, you'll see that your wallet balance is now updated. And that's fun, but isn't the whole point of Solana to be a giant global computer? Create a new file called checkBalanceTS that will load whatever wallet you specify on the command line and report the balance of that account. Let's get an Explorer link too. Jump on the Quicknode Learn Solana hashtag on X, find someone who's pasted their wallet address and run npx tsx checkBalanceTS, then their wallet address. You'll see the balance and can open their wallet in Solana Explorer. Maybe reach out to them and tell them you're watching. Congratulations, you're now looking at other people's accounts on Solana. Next, let's transact with them. In this lesson, you'll create your first Solana transactions, and you'll understand how programs exist on the blockchain. We mentioned before that an account's address can be used to transact with that account, but how do programs fit in? Well, Solana is a giant global computer, and the programs that run on Solana are called on-chain programs. And just like people with their own individual addresses, every program has its own address. So when we run a transaction on Solana, we're invoking functions from one or more programs. Here's a basic example. We have our system program, which is deployed at an address, and that has a transfer SOL function that can be used to transfer SOL. There's also a memo program, which has a different address, and that has an add memo function, which just writes some information to the logs. We can make a transaction with 2 instructions to run each of these functions. Provided both instructions succeed, the changes get written out to the blockchain. So let's do this ourselves. Create a new file and call it sendsol.ts, import these things, connect to DevNet, and then set the various values from your command line arguments. And we're going to create 2 instructions here. The first is the send SOL instruction, and the second is the add memo instruction. Using those npm packages we installed a moment ago, we'll create a transaction from those instructions and send it. We'll log the transaction signature, and we'll get a link where we can look at that transaction on Solana Explorer. Jump on the Quicknode Learn Solana hashtag on X and mention to somebody that you're about to send them some SOL. Then run npx tsx send SOL ts. Specify the recipient address, the amount of SOL you want to send, and also some text that you want to write out to the memo. Wait a moment, and the transaction completes. Congratulations, you've run your first transaction on Solana. Reply to that person on X and paste in the Explorer link where they can see the transaction. In the next video in this series, you'll be working with USDC, the most popular stablecoin used in the United States. You'll also be creating your own token, and you'll be sending USDC and that token back and forth live on Solana DevNet. Subscribe to see it straight away, and I'll see you then. Bye.